Hi, my name is Carrie, and if you've gone into a specialty yarn shop recently, you've probably seen this, which is the Yarn Swift and Ball Winder. Today, I'm going to show you how to use it, and I'm also going to explain which types of yarn you would need to go on the Swift and Winder. So let's get started. So when you buy yarn, it usually comes in three different versions. You get the ball, the skein, or the hank. Let's talk about what makes each one different. This first one is a ball, and it is pretty much what it says, just a ball of yarn. You just pull it out from the side and you can just knit or crochet. The second one is the skein. This one is more oblong, and you would pull the label off, and what you could do is you could pull the tail out from the inside, you can work it from the inside, or you can pull the tail on the outside. And this one would be the most common that you would find at a big box store. And then the third type of yarn is the hank. This one you would find mostly in specialty yarn stores, and it looks like this, but when it's unraveled, it's a big circle. So this is the yarn that you would need to use to put up on your Swift and Ball Winder. And when you put them up and you wind it out, it turns into this, which is what we call the yarn cake. And if you don't have a Swift and Winder, then you have to do it all by hand, and it just takes a lot longer. So in closing, you have the ball, the skein, and the hank. So the reason why it's important to know how to wind your own yarn is, say that you go to a specialty yarn shop and they have the Swift and Winder and they're really busy, and you buy some yarn. It's always good to know how to wind your own, because they'll let you use, most places will let you use their Swift and Winder. Or if you invest in your own, and the set together generally retails for around $100, give or take, you can take one home, you can buy one, bring it home, and then you can just wind your own yarn. So let's get started here. First of all, I'm going to take the label off. And then I'm just going to untwist it. And you'll see this is what it looks like. So if you didn't have a Swift and Winder, you would be doing it the old-fashioned way, where somebody would be sitting there with their hands like this, and then the other person, probably you, would be winding it up in a ball by hand. So this is where this is going to come in a lot. This will be pretty handy. So now let's get our Swift up, and it's just like an umbrella. Bring it up or as down as much as you want to. What you want to do is set it kind of loose to get your yarn around it. So then what I'm going to do is put my yarn all the way around. See, I've already made it too tight, so I'll go down just a little bit. Bring it over. Okay, now my yarn is up. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. And here it is. So now what you do is you look for the manufacturer, usually put some pieces of twine on it. That's what keeps it together. So you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to cut the twine. And it's usually a different color than your skein, so this way you know that you're not going to cut the yarn that you're going to use. So this one's brown. So we're going to go around and see if there's any more. And there's one right here. It looks like this one's actually connecting to the beginning and the end. So I'll cut this one. You might have to cut it twice. There we go. So here is my beginning and end. So I'll cut that. And usually what you can do is you can find the yarn that's coming out a little bit easier. This one might go back in the back. There we go. I'm going to see if this one will come out in the front for me. Come on. Nope, this one's going to be my front. It's coming out a little bit easier, which is fine. So what I'll do, since this one is a little bit tough, this is going to be my end. So I'm just going to kind of put that piece in the back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this to the ball winder. And all you do, you slide it through here, and then you lay it across, just like that. I'll show you one more time. You take it like this, pull it right through. Come on. And you lay it across. And give yourself a few inches here of slack right there. And then here's your handle. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it this way. It's pretty much whatever's most comfortable with you. And then you start turning. And then what I do with my left hand here, this is where I'm going to get my slack. And what you want to do, because the Swift will go pretty fast, you use your hand here to hold the tension, and you just slowly turn the winder. And then once you kind of find a rhythm, just keep going. And if it hits a snag, you don't need to worry about it. You just stop. Here, I'll stop. I'm going to lay my yarn down for a second here. I'm going to take this. I'm just worried that this piece is going to get caught. So I'm going to put this in the back. Is that it? I'm just going to kind of hang that right there for right now. And then continue. Some yarn is more forgiving than others. This is a really good brand, so it's easy to spin out. It's also making some noise. But that's all there is to it. You just kind of keep your eye on both of them so you don't get a snag here. And then it takes a couple of minutes. Swifts usually come in wooden, or you can get them in plastic. I kind of like the wooden ones. They kind of hold onto the yarn a little bit better, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and I'm almost done. So here. There we go. And when I'm almost done, I just keep turning. And there it is. Oops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the yarn off, and I kind of feel underneath to make sure to see if any of my yarn went under. A couple of it did. But then it easily pops off just like that. And then the hole in the middle is perfect to take your label. You ball your label up, and then you stick it right down there in the middle. So this way you don't forget what kind of yarn you have. And then you've made yourself a yarn cake. So I have taken a hank of yarn, and I've turned it into this yarn cake that I can now start to use in a project. So I hope you learned a lot today, and thanks for watching. Happy knitting. If you like what you saw today and would like to learn more about knitting, I do have a whole full course on curious.com. You can find the link to that in the description below. From there, you will find lessons ranging from anything from fingerless mittens to arm knitting to mug koozies. And if you'd like me on Facebook, that'd be great also. Thank you.